And welcome back to Daily Wrap. Well, former Democratic Senator from Virginia, his name's Jim Webb, is taking a firm stand in support of the Confederate flag. In the days following last week's church shooting in Charleston, much needed debate has begun in this country over the significance and relevance of the Confederate flag. And while South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley and Alabama Governor Robert Bentley have both ordered the removal of the flag from Capitol grounds, Webb is urging Americans to remember the true meaning of the flag. On Facebook yesterday, the former senator wrote, quote, "This is an emotional time, and we all need to think through these issues with a care that recognizes the need for change but also respects the complicated history of the Civil War. The Confederate battle flag has wrongly been used for racist and other purposes in recent decades. It should not be used in any way as a political symbol that divides us. This is a time for us to come together and to recognize once more that our complex multicultural society is founded on the principle of mutual respect." Webb is definitely in the minority here, but there are some Southerners who do view the flag simply as a symbol of history, not of racism or hatred. Does Webb have a point? Is he just sounding like a politician, you think, Rick?
That's all he's doing. I very much disagree with the characterization that he took a firm stand. You can't first say, if we could read it, if we went back, that you know, using the flag as a symbol of hatred and slavery and meant to anger people, so it should go away, and then later on say, but wait, what about these people? He was being a politician.
Well, isn't he saying that there are different interpretations from different people? That Bo and Luke Duke weren't racist, and they had it on the top of their car.
But his interpretation there, is it back up there? Mm-hmm. Yeah, where's the line? Where he talks about here, the Confederate flag has been wrongly used for racist and other purposes in recent decades. Well, if it's been wrongly used for racist purposes, doesn't that answer the question? And yet he goes on to talk out of the other side of his mouth. Why? Because he's a politician from the state of Virginia, and Northern Virginia agrees with the first line, and Southern Virginia agrees with the second line.
They are like two different states. Brad, you disagree?
Every powerful symbol from time immemorial has been open to interpretation. He is simply saying what I said Tuesday night, so I'm certainly not going to argue with him. And you can reduce any nuanced position in today's political climate to simply politics. That's not what he's doing. The truth is, the real discomfort here is that we don't want to talk about the flag that we could also not use if it was meant to be a symbol of people who supported slavery. And that's the American flag. Let's be very clear, at the time of the Civil War, the great plurality, if not the majority of Northerners, had no problem with slavery. President Lincoln himself entered the war not really concerned about slavery and deeply ambivalent about it. It was about preserving the Union. So I think everyone needs to do exactly what Webb said. Take a breath, step back, and figure out what it means when we have these very potent symbols that get used, reused, purposed, and repurposed before assuming that everyone who has the stars and stripes is a good guy and everyone who has the stars and bars is some, you know, racist bad guy.
Remarkable leaps there. Have you ever read one word, and I mean just one word, one article anywhere where it was suggested that the United States flag, the American flag, was a symbol of slavery? Ever?
Sure.
Really?
Many. Yeah.
Because I actually know how to read too, and I actually do it quite a bit in my.
No, let me finish. We disagree, and it's okay to disagree without being condescending about it. The fact of the matter is, the majority of Northerners.
Because you're not letting me finish my point.
The majority of Northerners were comfortable with slavery, so by definition, we went to war for that.
Excuse me. That's not what I said. What I said was, did you ever read somewhere where the American flag was considered a symbol of slavery? I haven't. Maybe you have. I read for a living, but hey, what do I know? But I'll tell you what, I've read enormous numbers of things where the Confederate flag was viewed as a symbol of slavery. So I don't buy the comparison. Yes, you're right. Northerners did not care about slavery at the time of the war, but that's not the issue, is it? The issue is whether or not we are supporting symbols that is so demeaning to millions of people in this country that we just ignore them. And no, I have never heard anybody call the United States of America's flag a symbol of slavery.
My worry is that I went to George Washington Junior High School. And
did you ever hear anybody refer to the U.S. flag as a symbol of slavery?
People have said that the U.S. flag is a symbol of oppression, sure.
But not slavery.
Of slavery?
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure that
you?
some people have.
I'm not sure. I don't know that I have.
I'll have to
never
Google
heard
it
such a
during
thing.
the
We
commercial.
will. We're gonna.
But to my point, I went to George Washington Junior High School. There was a Thomas Jefferson High School next to us. Do those go away because they were slave owners, the first president and our third president? In other words, where do we draw the line? Do we take Washington off of money because he was a slave owner? That's where my worry is here.
It's such a distraction. I mean, the more important thing is to be trying to deal with the divide between the races. And these are symbols, yes, and symbols are important, yes. But when this discussion is not getting us anywhere as far as moving forward with the problems. I mean, we should be having people sit down and talk about the actual issues as opposed to the symbols that represent the
Which
issues.
is great.
That's the
Which
point.
is great.
This will move us backwards, not forwards, if we assume all good or all bad. And actually, one quick example is, yes, the Klan regularly flies alongside the stars and bars the flag of the United States of America, regularly, because their argument
When
is
was the last
they
time
are
the Klan
doing what
did
they
that?
believe in.
When did the last time they gathered to do that?
2 years ago in Atlanta at a rally I was at.
Okay, that'll be the last words there. Coming up next, potluck time, Daily Wrap. Do not go anywhere.